Hello. Today I'm going to do a sketchbook tour of two of my sketchbooks. These are from when I was in second year and third year of art school. And I will be honest, these are not my favorite sketchbooks that I have completed. They are a little bit all over the place. I felt like when I was in college, I kind of struggled to have a consistent sketchbook practice. I felt like I was always kind of working on assignments and finished pieces that I wasn't really doing much just work for fun, work that was like more casual, I guess, and like without a purpose. And I'll talk more about like what my current sketchbook practice is at the end of the video because it's changed so much from when I did these two, but I still wanted to make a video and share them because I think that they are just important to see, to remember that like sketchbooks are allowed to be imperfect, they're allowed to be inconsistent, and it's all just like part of the process. There are some pages in here that I won't show just because they have like thumbnail sketches on them that I might still use for stuff in the future that I don't really want to kind of give away, but yeah, so that's why I'm going to do two in a video because there's some pages that won't be shown, so hopefully combined they will be the length of a full sketchbook plus more. So I'll start with the first one, which is the older one. I believe it's from 2022 or 2023, when I was 19 or 20. I think maybe I was younger than that actually, gosh. I think I was 18 turning 19 actually. I started this in the summer, so I would have been in school. This was the summer after first year, I'm guessing, because I finished school at the end of April, so this would have been in the summer. And I think this is just me kind of like messing around, having fun. This was from Twilight. This is Charlie I was drawing, and then this is from Pinterest, I'm pretty sure. It's just sometimes I still like to sketch from Pinterest just like for practice, for fun, to remind myself that I can draw. So yeah, this is just sketching, more sketches. I have no idea. These were, again, this is the kind of stuff that I mean where I'm like, it's not really it's not very interesting to look at because they were just like sketches of me figuring out larger pieces and thumbnails and stuff like that. So this painting I do really love. It was from a reference from Pinterest, and I just did it one night for fun and like really quickly. And I loved it because of the like red underpainting in the background, and that was a technique that I ended up like continuing to use for like years after this. So yeah, I was really happy with it. I really like it. I like the loose style. I think I like set a timer for myself, or like I had something in the oven for an hour, and so I was like, I'm gonna do an entire painting in just that amount of time, and that was what I did. And so it ended up being like super loose, super fast, and that was like just a great way of working, and I can like remember it pretty vividly. And then this was another just like sketch from Pinterest of portrait. I think I was kind of like bored at the time. This was from Life. I'm originally from Bermuda, so this was when I was back there with my mom, and so these were sketches from there. I don't really like love these. My plein air sketching has definitely improved a lot since this time. I think like it's kind of evident to me when I look through my old sketchbooks that like especially when I was younger, I was like relying probably way too much on drawing from Pinterest references, and it was always a thing of like, oh, I need to find the right reference, I need to find the right pose, I need to find all this. And now I kind of never sketch from Pinterest, so, which I don't think is a good thing. I think I should probably use it more, but yeah, I think it's like about finding the right balance. I actually really like this sketch. This was just like a tree that had like crazy, complicated, interesting roots. This is from Bermuda as well, from the Botanical Gardens. And again, this is just a Pinterest sketch, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this would have been, I want to say, after the Met Gala. So I think a lot of time passed from when I did this. I also I don't usually work chronologically in my sketchbook, so there are some pages out of order, like this was from June and this was from January, so there's some jumping around here, but these were some outfits I liked from the Met Gala, I guess. And then this is a sketch of Zayn Malik in like, gosh, probably like 2013. I don't know why I was going all the way back to that. These are some bear drawings with some leaf pressings that I put in. And yeah, these are cute. These are drawn on the back of receipts. I was working as a cashier, and so I would draw on receipts when the store was dead. I don't know if I should reveal that, but sorry if my previous boss is watching. This was a sketch for a larger painting that I did, and this is a sketch of Jane Goodall from Pinterest. I was working a lot more with colored pencil. A map that I think I meant to draw on top of and then never got around to. And I think this is Keira Knightley from Anna Karenina. This is Anna Karenina again. Apparently I loved Anna Karenina at the time. And then this is a painting from school, so I must have been back at school at this point, because this is from class. This was one of our like life models and like live setups that we had. But I do actually really like how this looks. Again, this was me using that red background and painting on top of that, which I quite like. This is a peregrine falcon that I did. I think I just found a photo online. I love painting birds. They're really pretty. So this is more sketches and like ideas. I think this is all from my old job. These are all like old invoices that I was drawing on the back of. Oh gosh. Anyways, I went to Whistler for a little bit, and this was a lake there that I thought was really pretty, and I painted this from life, I'm pretty sure. And then again, this is another sketch from Pinterest. A lot of these, like, I painted pages and I was like, I'm gonna come back to this and put something here, and then I like wouldn't do that, so that's my bad. More sketches. This was again from Whistler, although I didn't do this from life. I think I did this from a photo after the fact, but this is my dad. Hiking. Again, another page that I painted and meant to come back to and never did. Here we have a parrot in pastel. I don't know what I was doing there. This is like a mess, but these are sketches that I was doing for a painting. Thumbnails. This is again like more school stuff. I had a project where I was like drawing a poster for the distillery district in Toronto, and so that was like sketches for that. These are some portraits. This is Ayrton Senna. I don't remember who these people are, but yeah, I like some of these actually. The style of them is pretty loose, which I like. I really loved this pen for a long time, actually. I remember that. I don't have it anymore. Another sketch. Don't really know. These were more like, I guess, design ideas that I had for my distillery district poster, which I did a lot. See, like, this is kind of stuff that I'm like, I feel like it's kind of boring to look at because it's just like me figuring out ideas and all of that. And again, these are more just me doing thumbnails, figuring out ideas, like pretty boring, pretty boring stuff. More life paintings at the back. Yeah. And then this was from, I had a project where I was painting or illustrating Dracula. So I have some sketches from that of what I was planning to do. I don't know. I think I ended up going with this one, to be honest, but yeah, I don't really like any of these looking back now. This is drawings. Anyways, this is the last page that I'll show. I was at the AGO sketching. There's like a room in the basement of the AGO, which is the Art Gallery of Ontario, where they have a bunch of like model ships, and ships are my favorite thing to draw, so I love going there and just sketching the ships. So that's that sketchbook. Again, a bit of a mess, a bit all over the place. The timeline is also like crazy. Like some of those sketches were from like the end of second year of art school, and some of them were from the summer after, like it's all over the place, but that's okay. This is my next sketchbook, which has some stickers on it. An apple sticker, how nice. But anyways, I'll start at the beginning. I have no idea what I was doing here. I was just, I don't know, had some ideas. I wanted to draw a fairy, ballerina. And yeah, I mean, these are cute, but like, I don't know that I would make them into larger illustrations necessarily. Maybe, I'm not against it. Some random sketches. I think I went to see A Complete Unknown. Yes, I did. And I was drawing from that. Those are some thumbnails that I won't show. More thumbnails. A lot of thumbnails in this sketchbook. A lot of pages of just like me figuring out books that I was working on and projects for school. I also got a job illustrating a coloring book this year, and so I have sketches for that I can't show either. I can show those. I was working on this book about dinosaurs going to space. I'll put like my finished illustrations on the screen so you can see how it turned out, but these were my like process sketches of like my thumbnails of figuring out what the pages were gonna look like, and then this was like me figuring out the art style. This is another trial of, I guess, a media test. I think this one is with like colored pencil line work, and then this one was with pen, but they're both watercolor. I ended up going with this one. This, I have no idea what that is. These are more boring thumbnails and stuff from projects. I did a clue board. I illustrated a clue board and a set of clue cards that was inspired by the Palace of Versailles. So this was work from that. The chandelier was one of the like weapons, and so was the gun. This was the back of the card. It was like Marie Antoinette's wallpaper. And then this was one of the characters that I invented, my Professor Plum. These were more sketches for the characters that I was designing. And then this is when school ended and I went into summer, and I was doing a lot of just like watercolor landscapes this summer in my sketchbook. These were both paintings that I did from photos that I'd taken on my trip to Whistler, which we went through in the last sketchbook. So I had a lot of material from that trip that I wanted to paint, but I just like, it took me a long time to get around to it. This is a self-portrait that was not good. Every single year I think I attempt a self-portrait, and every single year I completely hate it. But anyways, I injured I'm right-handed, and I strained my drawing arm. And so I couldn't really draw with my right hand for a long time, and I was doing stuff with my left hand to kind of like learn to be ambidextrous. So this was, I think, my first left-handed painting. And honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty decent. This is a house. I'm back with my right hand here. So I think I don't know what order I did these in, but I could still draw with my right hand. It was just like I was trying to like do it a lot less and conserve it for when I had to draw for work. So that was what was happening there. But yeah, these are more watercolor paintings. This is another left-handed painting. I did this plein air with my friends in High Park in Toronto, and I did it with my left hand, and I'm honestly so proud of it. Both of these are with my left hand actually, but this one was from life, and oh my god, I was like moving at such a like snail's pace working on it, but like I'm so happy that it like resembles something, you know what I mean? And this is the boat which goes to the islands. I did this from a photograph. It's not my favorite, but it's a decent attempt, I think. This is, again, using my right hand. I went to a lot of like physio and managed to recover, but yeah, this was just a sketch of a concept I had that I was thinking of making into a children's book. And then this was a painting from a photo I'd taken a few years ago. I really love this painting. I don't know why. I don't know what about this like scene. I remember taking the photo and just thinking like, oh, that would make such a cool painting. And I like the painting, but I'm like, why? I have no idea. I thought it was cool. This is a painting that I did from life in a park in Mississauga. And this was from a photo that I'd taken in Lunenburg years ago. But I like these. I like this page. I like how it like matches. This was from out in Scarborough, I think. I did this from life. I think it's called Scarborough Bluffs, I want to say. It's like a beach out in the East End. And then this is from Toronto Islands. This is like one of the houses by the beach that I drew. This is one of the tall ships came to Toronto this summer, so I went down and like saw them and tried to sketch them and did not do a very good job. And then these are some doodles from the AGO. This is sketches from a concert that I went to. I did them after the fact. I was not sketching at the concert, unfortunately. But yeah, that was what that was from. And then I went to a rodeo this summer as well, and I took lots of photos, and so I was drawing from my photos that I took. And that was like such a cool experience, and like so great as an illustrator to like get actual references of like cowboys and stuff, because I'm always putting that in my work. But yeah, this was just like such a fun day, and like I'm glad I was able to take some good photos. This is Peggy's Cove. I went to Nova Scotia at the end of the summer and I did lots of sketches from life. Again, these are more sketches from Nova Scotia. This is Hubbard's Beach, and this is also Hubbard's Beach. One is like facing west and one is facing east. There's a rocky part and a sandy part, but yeah, I love these sketches. This is like my favorite place in the whole world, so that's nice. These are some sailboats that we saw in Chester, and then this is also Peggy's Cove. And I was using like, I was experimenting with like using colored pencil with watercolor, and I really like how this sketch turned out. I also really like this one. This is again from a photo that I had taken at the rodeo, and I used watercolor and colored pencil, but I just like the style of it. I like how it came out. And then this one was from Wolfville on the Bay of Fundy. I loved like the sky this day. It was like huge and full of clouds, and it was so pretty. And then I think this is the last page. Yes, this was from Chester as well, and I did this in a combination of like watercolor and colored pencil on like brown craft paper. Anyways, that is everything from my 2 sketchbooks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you hopefully soon when this sketchbook is all done.